eastern side of the West region, if that makes sense. And that's going to be beneficial, I think, to the Trojans as far as travel as we go through this. But, of course, as Mitch Gebhardt would say, and he would probably scold me a little bit, right now we're just trying to go 1-0 this week, and that's against the Haven Wildcats. Haven will kick off to start this game. Back deep for Southeast of Saline will be Nate Friesen and Michael Murray. They're standing between their own 10 and 15-yard lines. Southeast of Saline, as you look at it on SalinaPost.com, live stream video brought to you by Asaria Oil and Hardware. Southeast is wearing their all-purples from head to toe. Haven, they're black and golds. It's a little West Virginia-like if you're familiar with the Mountaineers.
Yeah, and I think right now if you're Southeast Saline, you get off to the start just like you did last week. You come out in the first half and just absolutely dominated, going 6 for 6 on drives. Just kind of waiting for the clock to count down. He said a lot of games going on in 2A, and we'll kind of touch on them as we go throughout the broadcast.
There's some interesting ones. Of course, one already in the book from last night. Nemaha Central, the second-ranked team. Some of them have first in Class 2A over Southeast of Saline. Nemaha Central rolled over Pleasant Ridge last night, 74-6, getting a Thursday game in. Looked for a lot of answers about Thursday games. The only answer I really got is maybe a shortage of officials. I don't know. But here we are, Friday night, Steve Fritz Field, ready to go. As Haven will kick it away here to Southeast of Saline. An onside kick, little pop-up kick here. And Haven trying to get the football, but it's going to be broken up and taken by Southeast of Saline. Haven did everything they had to do to get that football, Russ, but it was broken up and taken away by Jace Van Amberg, who made the play of the game right now so far on that kick.
Yeah, you're exactly right. That front line looked like one. I couldn't tell the number had one spot at it, but he took a 3 or 4 yard step back to wait for it to come to him, and Haven reached it and high pointed it.
They had it.
Jace Van Amberg comes in and knocks it away from him. So a great heads up play by the senior Jace Van Amberg.
What a play by Jace. First down and 10 for Southeast of Saline. They will start on the right hash at their own 43-yard line. Play action, bubble screen out to Murray, and he is going to be knocked into the backfield and taken down for a big loss. Not a great block out there on that play. Haven doing their film study, and Tucker Thaxton just could not keep the Wildcats at bay. He was outnumbered out there, and Michael Murray's going to take a loss on the first play of the game of 4 yards.
Yeah, and Michael Murray with his 39th catch on the year, only week 8 or game 8 for Michael Murray.
Second 14. Here's a little screen out now to Landon Allen. He catches it, gets the yardage back, runs over a Haven Wildcat out to the 49-yard line, and that will be a gain of 10 yards.
Yeah, did a great job out there. Dustin Lockery just kind of got ran over out there, and a great job to get the yardage back to bring up third and manageable.
Ball at the 49-yard line, pushing it towards midfield. Big third down and 5 here for the Trojans. Gebhardt rolling out left, wants to throw, puts it down towards the kneecaps of Michael Murray, who was running towards the Haven sideline. Murray can't come up with it, and an interesting call here for Southeast of Saline. They don't punt very often. Matter of fact, the Trojans have only punted 7 times this whole season, but right now they are looking at a 4th down and 5 at midfield, the offense staying on the field.
Yeah, and I think that's a no-brainer about at the 49-yard line. You got to keep this offense out on the field. 2
wide receivers to the left. Landon Allen in tight. He is set up directly behind Wade Rutherford at that left tackle. Jake Gebhardt, a solo receiver, to the short side of the field here on the right-hand side. Friesen will shift. Luke Gebhardt in the shotgun. He wants to roll out left, has the football up around the shoulder pads, and it's going to be easy pickings for Michael Murray as he'll be ran out of bounds at the 44-yard line. It's a gain of 7 for Southeast of Saline.
Yeah, and Luke Gebhardt coming into this game, 214.4 yards per game. Just a phenomenal average. Helped his touchdown interception average, 17 touchdowns, 9 interceptions on the year.
Southeast of Saline at the 44-yard line. Fake handoff again to Friesen. Gebhardt rolling out to the right. In the middle of the field, here's Murray again. Murray catches at the 30, 25, cuts back at the 20, 15, trying to get away from a Wildcat. He'll be brought down at the 12-yard line. Michael Murray on the right-hand side of the field, negotiating traffic with a couple of blocks. He'll knock off 32 yards on first down.
And that will not hurt Michael Murray's average coming in, averaging 15.2 yards a catch, just absolutely wide open out on the outside.
Trying to make up for that negative yardage on the first play of the game. He did so there from the 12 in the Can-Equip red zone. Here's the fake handoff to Friesen. Luke Gebhardt starts out left, now works back right, gets inside the 5, and he'll be brought down at the 3 after a gain of 9. Second short coming up. That was the first rush of the game for Southeast of Saline.
107th carry for Luke Gebhardt, 608 yards, averaging about 76 a game.
From the 3, opening drive of the contest, they go to Friesen. Finally, on this first carry, he's going to go in and barrel roll across the goal line. It's a Trojan touchdown with Nate Friesen scoring his 12th rushing touchdown of the year.
Yeah, and it's on his 106th carry of the year. Him and Luke Gebhardt about tied for carries coming into this game. Nate Friesen averages 6.1 yards per carry, but once again, win the line of scrimmage, and that is exactly what the Southeast Saline offensive line did that whole drive.
Friesen from 3 yards away. Now the 2-point conversion. Gebhardt up top. He's going to land it right into brother Jake's hands in the back corner of the end zone. How many times have we seen that this year? Gebhardt to Gebhardt for 2, and we are off and running. 10 minutes left to play in the first quarter. Southeast of Saline takes the opening drive down the field for a touchdown. They lead at 8-0 here on KINA.
The Bennington State Bank proudly supports local sports and wants each student to know that their hard work and talent is noticed and appreciated. At Bennington State Bank, they care about local communities and are committed to fostering long-term relationships through the delivery of excellent customer service, integrity, and fairness. From helping local businesses acquire relief loans to supporting community youth and nonprofits to helping you purchase your dream home or invest in your future, Bennington State Bank is here to help. Give them a call to experience exceptional banking with hometown service. Bennington State Bank, your trusted hometown bank. Member FDIC.
You're listening to Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
7 plays, 57 yards for Southeast of Saline to open the game. Takes just a couple of minutes. Ends up with a Nate Friesen 3-yard touchdown run. Gebhardt to Gebhardt on the 2-point conversion pass, and it's 8-0. That scoring drive recap brought to you by Phillips Seed Farms. Wyatt Boyd with his hand in the air. He'll kick it to the right-hand side, and it will go to the right hash. Now ends up more towards the middle of the field, and here comes the return by Haven, and the ball's loose. Southeast of Saline claiming they have it. Nash Ray was the return man for Haven, and it looks like the Wildcats will keep this football and have the opening drive of the game. The Wildcat offense, we talked about him. He is a big quarterback, 6'3", 215 pounds. It's Brant Sipe. He has passed for 753 yards on the season, 82 completions on 130 attempts, 4 touchdowns against 6 interceptions. Sipe will also run the ball, 92 carries this year, almost 600 yards, and 12 touchdowns from the quarterback spot. Sipe in the pistol has a running back directly behind him. He will have one fake handoff, now goes straight ahead, and 5 yards on the first play of the game offensively for the Haven Wildcats. Taking the football that time was Van Loop. Loop is the leading rusher on this team, 148 carries, 651 yards on the year, 5 touchdowns rushing. This Haven team is missing a main guy on offense and defense tonight due to injury, and that's junior Riley Loop. He is not playing tonight.
The Haven's going to go no huddle, too typical of Southeast of Saline.
Here's the play action going over the left-hand side, and it goes high through the hands of the intended receiver out here on the left-hand edge. Gavin Moore was there. Landon Allen and Daniel Kerr in close proximity for Southeast of Saline. Now a 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, and the front 3 getting pressure early, even on that quick throw right there. Southeast Saline coming into this game, an impressive 74 tackles for loss, something to pay attention to tonight.
3rd down and 5 for the Wildcats. The 3 up front for Southeast of Saline, shuffling around. Stepping in is Isaacson, faking the blitz. Landon Allen is to his right. Matt Chambers to his left. Cameron Woody floating around. This time he's over on the left-hand side. Here's the snap. Sipe wants to take it. He is going to be tattooed and dropped. A 2-yard loss on a quarterback design run for Brant Sipe. And that Southeast of Saline defense, Chambers and Isaacson right up the middle, ready for that run.
Yeah, they're going to give him the line of scrimmage there. They didn't move the stick, so they're going to give him a no gain, not negative right there. It's going to bring in the punting unit for Haven. A good start up front for this Southeast of Saline defense.
A linebacking core coming off along with Trevor Keller, and a punt formation on the field right now for the Haven Wildcats. Luke Gebhardt and Michael Murray back deep. They're standing near their own 30-yard line awaiting the punt. Good snap. And here's a punt. Jace Van Amberg selling out. Was close to that punt, but couldn't quite get there. And this ball will roll down at the 30-yard line, where Southeast of Saline will take it to start their second drive of the contest.
Yeah, Jace Van Amberg narrowly could have blocked that, but we also talked to Mitch Gebhardt a few times earlier in the year, and he tells we only blitz from the outside to block the kick, and you better be 1,000% sure that you are going to block that kick.
Yep. They have the return on. They have so much confidence in those guys back deep. It is all return except for the two gunners on the outsides, one on each side. Southeast of Saline, 4 wide receivers, 3 of them in a cluster to the right. Gebhardt wants to pass. Going down the seam, he'll let one fly. Michael Murray has a fingertip on it. Jake Gebhardt also coming in close proximity. Jake was being held just a little bit. Murray, though, had the best chance of that football, and it falls incomplete. 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, not really either one of them right there could have got their hands on it. The defensive back, if you watch out here on Jake Gebhardt, is giving him – he's kind of got his body forcing him towards the inside. So we've seen Jake run by a few guys this year, so he's got him turned to run through the inside. If he can make one move and get by him, there's nobody out here.
Yeah, there is one-on-one with Lockery and Gebhardt out here on the edge, usually on the right-hand side of that Southeast offense. Here is Luke Gebhardt. He is working his way through traffic, gets hit from behind. He'll have a couple of yards on 2nd down. That'll bring up 3rd down and 8.
And he did everything he could to get back to the line of scrimmage right there. Interesting on this formation, this may be the widest we've seen a wide receiver stretch out past the numbers almost next to the sideline for Southeast of Saline. And it's clear one-on-one coverage out here.
3rd down and 8 at the 32-yard line for Southeast of Saline. Friesen cuts underneath. Here's the slant that we talked about. Jake has it. What a catch by senior Jake Gebhardt as he will barrel roll down to the 47-yard line. That ball on time, and Jake with a defensive back hanging on him makes a spectacular catch.
Yeah, and like I just said, the defender giving him the inside, he made one step at him, cut right in front of him like a defender boxing out, cleaned him off to the back. A great catch out in front for a 1st down.
That is Jake's first catch in the offense so far tonight. Here's a run. It's Friesen coming off to the right-hand side, gets turned around, then hit from behind. He will come across the 50-yard line into Haven territory at the 49. That will be a gain of 5 yards for Nathan Friesen on his 2nd carry. Of course, the first one was the touchdown that we have on the board, showing the Trojans leading 8-0.
And I noticed on that one, in the balls on this side of the field, they're going one-on-one coverage out on the outsides.
Gebhardt back to Friesen right up the middle. He's into the 2nd level. He'll have the 1st down as he is brought down at the 44-yard line. Call it the 43, gain of 6.
Yeah, Nate Friesen not hurting that 6.1 yard average a carry, and just a guy that he runs so hard, runs downhill, is at full speed by the line of scrimmage. The offensive line does a great job creating the hole, usually one-on-one with the middle linebacker, and he's sniffing out contact and running through the first guy. 1st
down and 10. Trojans, they're pushing into Haven territory now at the 43-yard line. Here's Gebhardt on a fake to Friesen as he fakes the sweep to the right. Luke will take it straight up the gut right now and get brought down at the 40-yard line. It is a gain of 3 for senior quarterback Luke Gebhardt. So far, 3 carries, 14 yards for Luke in this game. I made the comment to Coach Gebhardt in pregame. Mentally watching this game, you go, man, Nate Friesen probably needs to get more carries. But then you look at him and Luke on the season, they're dead even almost on carries. Here's Luke rolling out to the left-hand side. He'll rise up and throw as Landon Allen for the first time. And Landon inside the 25-yard line to the 24. That's a gain of 19 for Southeast of Saline.
And that's been the bread and butter of this Southeast Saline offense. Roll out, whether it's right or left, and have kind of them staggering slants to the sideline, and one of them is becoming wide open every time.
I apologize. That is Landon's 2nd catch on the evening. His first one went for 10 yards on that opening drive. Gebhardt now rolling out to the right. Has the ball ready to go. Now he's going to tuck it, run, cuts back up inside in the Caney-Quip red zone. He is brought down at the 10-yard line on a gain of 14. That's a big chunk play in the rushing game for Southeast.
And Luke Gebhardt showed great patience. Landon Allen was waiting right there for the pass. He kind of pulled the brakes on a little bit, allowing Landon to turn around, get one key block to spring it free for about 6 more yards.
Knocking on the door again is Southeast of Saline. Cameron Woody goes out to the left-hand side. Michael Murray in the slot with him. Jake Gebhardt to the right. Landon Allen still in tight. They'll go to Friesen, running off the right-hand side behind Landon Allen. And Nate Friesen's going to score his 2nd touchdown of the night. It is touchdown number 13. And Landon Allen grabbing his arm, his left forearm, left wrist area after throwing that block. Hopefully he's okay. But Friesen has just gone into the end zone, and he's made it now 14-0.
And that right side of the offensive line, in particular, Trevor Keller did a great job on the defensive end, Brant Sipe, who also is a quarterback, is a big, big man out there. And Trevor did a great job of clearing him clear out of the play.
2-point conversion coming up. They fake it to Friesen. Now fake it to Murray. Luke Gebhardt's going to keep it. He's going to walk in. Takes a hit after he crosses the goal line. And Southeast of Saline makes it 16-0 with 5:29 left to go here in the first quarter. You're listening and watching on SalinaPost.com with live stream video presented by Asaria Oil and Hardware to Trojan football. Southeast leads at 14-0 here on KINA.
Put up more hay crop in less time with the Case IH Premium Round Balers. The RB565 Premium Round Baler from Case IH consistently builds bales even in varying crop and field conditions. With an overshot feeder and 5-bar pickup, the Case IH RB565 Premium Round Baler allows you to maximize your productivity on every pass. To find out more on the Case IH RB565 Premium Round Baler, see Can Equip in Salina.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan football on KINA Sports.
Second drive of the game for Southeast of Saline, a 9-play drive covering 70 yards. It ends up again with Nate Friesen, a 10-yard touchdown run. Luke Gebhard with a 2-point conversion. I said before the break it was 14-0. I made a mistake. It's 16-0 Southeast of Saline with 5:29 left to go here in the first quarter. That scoring update brought to you by Phillips Seed Farms.
And the keys to the game are sticking true. The offensive line right now just dominating.
Wyatt Boyd's kick. This time we'll angle off to the right. Haven will take it at the 20-yard line. Now to the 25. Couple of big collisions in there. And out across the 30 to the 31 goes Haven on that run. And it was Van Loop. Jace Van Amberg in on the tackle for Southeast of Saline. It's like Jace is coming out trying to play linebacker for Landon Allen. And Landon just kind of waved him off, said, I'm good.
Yeah. Jace Van, he just comes off again, and he's probably one of the most exciting kids to watch out there on special teams.
Good field position here to start for the Wildcats on their second drive. They went 3 and out on their first drive. Sipe throws the screen out to the right-hand side. A catch, still behind the line of scrimmage, but now surging ahead for about 4 yards. Will go Gavin Moore. Gavin gets 3 on that first completion in the passing game for Haven tonight.
And Jake Gebhardt had a chance right there at the line of scrimmage. It was kind of a reach tackle. He was kind of beat on the outside, dove, and was unable to tackle him at the line of scrimmage.
Second down and 7 from the 34-yard line. Full backfield. Now Moore will leave. Sipe will hand it off, and this is going to be a tackle for a loss. Keller was the first one through, but missed the tackle. No worries, though. Mac Chambers coming right behind him will clean things up, along with Caden Isaacson in his sidecar. Loss of 2.
Yeah, Mac Chambers with his 12th tackle for loss on the year.
Third down and 9. Now backed up to the 31 are the Wildcats. 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Running back Van Loop in the backfield. Sipe asking for the shotgun snap. He's going to turn, hand it off to Loop, and Loop ran right into Mac Chambers, and there's no money in that. Mac Chambers hit him shoulder to shoulder and drove him back 5 yards. Of course, forward progress will be there. It won't be as bad as it looks, but Mac Chambers went A-gap, I'm A-gap also, here we go. And that's what he did. It's a Van Loop on that carry of no gain.
And we saw it last week. Mac Chambers was just jacked up last week with the snaps. Well, he's kind of Caden Isaacson, but both of them right there, both of them play the exact same way.
From the 32, here's a second punt by the Wildcats, a high kick. That's going to be taken by Michael Murray. Luke Gebhardt already laying a block. Here comes Murray, 35-40, 45-50 across midfield. Has a Wildcat inside his jersey on a horse collar from behind. And we have laundry all over the field here at Steve Fritz Field. This might be multiple infractions, but definitely something that may end up in a offsetting situation, maybe a repunt. Murray showing his speed there.
Yeah, and I think you're going to get at least one of them's horse collar for sure.
Should be. It's amazing how often we see that and it's not called.
Yeah, not sure what the other one might be. And with that being on the return, and they're taking a long time to discuss this, so you might be right. I didn't see another penalty, of course, when we saw Michael Murray getting
the back judge where the punt came from threw a flag, and for me it's hard to believe that he would have been calling the horse collar, but I don't know. They do call the horse collar, personal foul. And then they're going to say personal foul against Southeast of Saline, offsetting.
I think they're going to call, I believe that's helmet to helmet.
Okay. So Southeast is going to say, again, return on. We like our return guys. Let's see what they can do here. So it's going to be Luke Gebhardt, Michael Murray back deep, heels on their 30-yard line. Out there punting once again. Cooper Seidel for Haven. He's standing on his own 20. Good snap. A little bit of heat on Seidel. He's going to uncork another one that is way up there, but it is very, very short also. And it's going to bounce at the 45 and then die down dead at the 43-yard line, where Southeast of Saline will have 57 yards in front of them as they begin their third drive of the game. 3:18 left to go, first quarter, 16-0, Southeast of Saline.
Yeah, and off to continuing to stay on the gas, coming off of last week's 6-for-6 drive to start the first half, 2-for-2 tonight, because now Southeast going to come out with another 4 wide receiver set.
All on the right side, on the long-hand side of the field. Tucker Thaxton is soloed over to the left. No running back. Here's Gebhardt rising up, throwing, finds Jake. Gebhardt, he's going to be across the first down sticks, and then just inside of the 45-yard line to the 44. That will be a gain of 13 yards on first down.
Yeah, and Jake Gebhardt averaging 10.5 yards a catch. He only had 33 receptions for 346 coming into this game.
Here's the give to Friesen. He is in the second level again. Look out. Friesen inside the 30, 25-20. Knock it on the board again. Nate Friesen is running away from this Haven defense. Friesen scores for the third time in this first quarter. Number 3 has 3 with a 2-point conversion pending.
And just a phenomenal job by the other 10 purple jerseys out on the field. A great job, a hat on a hat. Get to the second level. Kicking out, making a wide open block. Lyman chips off, goes and gets the linebacker, and Nate Friesen just flat outruns everybody, looking like a state track runner out there.
Here's the fake to Murray. Luke's going to keep it, leans in on the left-hand side, running behind Brody Chambers, and he's going to have another 2-point conversion. 3 for 3 on drives, 3 for 3 on point after. Southeast of Saline leads at 24-0. 2:55 left to go here in the first quarter from Steve Fritz Field. Video and radio brought to you by Assyria Oil and Hardware on KINA.
Citizens State Bank has been serving Kansans for over 100 years. We are a full-service bank that can service your personal, business, and agricultural lending and deposit needs. Citizens State Bank offers 24/7 convenience with mobile deposit, online banking, and our ATM conveniently located in front of the building. Stop by and see our friendly and helpful staff. Citizens State Bank at 600 Maple Street in Gypsum, Kansas. Citizens State Bank and Trust Company is a proud supporter of the Southeast of Saline Trojans.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline football on KINA.
Back here at Steve Fritz Field, the last scoring drive for Southeast of Saline on their third possession of the game was a 2-play drive, 57 yards, and it was capped off by Nathan Friesen, junior tailback, a 44-yard touchdown run. He has a hat trick now in this first quarter. 2-point conversion was ran in by Luke Gebhardt. That scoring drive brought to you by Phillips Seed Farms. Here's a kick from Wyatt Boyd, taken by Haven back at the 15. Looking for some space there is Nash Ray, and Ray will bring it out to about the 27-yard line. Boy, Friesen has wheels. Talk about the speed all the way around of the Southeast of Saline team. I think you can definitely put him in the top 5.
Yeah, and you had speed, last year with this team with Michael Murray, Chase Pogue. Even Matthew Rodriguez had some breakthrough speed when he would get through the second level, but I think this year just up and down the whole roster, all 11 are flat, just fast, all of them.
Brant Sipe has his work cut out for him as the Haven Wildcats come out for the third time. They try to run it off to the right-hand side, and Josiah Monday is there to end that carry for Southeast of Saline's defense. Going to be a loss on the play of about 2 yards. That time from tailback Van Loop.
And Josiah Monday with his 9th tackle for loss this year at that nose guard position.
Mac Chambers also in there as well. Need to mention him at their own 25. Sipe wants to throw, goes out to a receiver, falling down on the flat and pounding the turf before he gets up is Gavin Moore after that pass was incomplete. So far, Haven throwing the football is 1 of 2. Grady Gebhardt coming in. Mac Chambers coming out. But Mac might be a little gimpy. Sure they'll check him out. So the freshman Gebhardt in the game. Grady will be in there at middle linebacker right by Isaacson. Here's the run. Again, it's going to be Loop. And as I speak on Caden Isaacson, he comes through and the ball comes free as well. Haven will keep it and it'll be 4th and long. Another loss on the play of 3 yards for the Wildcats. Caden Isaacson started out, I know he's a middle linebacker, but he was shaded more left. He came out on a curl and went right through the right-hand gap and pretty much met that handoff there, Russ, and he destroyed that play.
Yeah, once again, they're just dominating the line of scrimmage right now, whether it's the front 3 or the back 2, regardless of who it is. So a phenomenal job once again.
Gebhardt, Murray back at their own 30. This ball has a spiral on it. Luke's going to take it at the 40. He's coming to the right-hand side now, 45, 50, other 45, other 40. Big block here. Luke Gebhardt down the field, but there's a flag on the play. Luke's going to go ahead and tuck this one right inside the pylon. But a block here at the 41-yard line, I think we'll bring this one back as there is a huge collision in the middle of the field. Mitch Gebhardt has his headset off, wanting a conversation with an accompanying official. I don't know if he will get that or not. Sometimes these blocks look bad, if that makes sense, and they're not necessarily illegal, and I think that might be what Mitch is talking about here.
So, yes, it may not be. It was a good block. The one thing they're trying to do, it was definitely not a block in the back. He was clear numbers. The thing they're trying to do is protect the punt team that's running down the field. And if you block towards, away from where the play is going, so he's running north to south here, and if the defender comes south to north and makes a block, they're calling that almost like a blindside block. But they ruled a block in the back in that, which clearly it obviously was full front of the numbers. But that's the only thing I can think of on that call right there.
Trojan leader not happy. He puts his headset back on, now crosses his arms in disgust. Southeast will take over at the 49. After that play was brought back. Beautiful return, though, by Luke, wasn't it? Here's a high snap. Gebhardt will bring it down, working middle of the field, has 5 yards now. He almost broke out, got into that second level, had a couple of guys to beat, and they did not bring him down until he got to the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 11 by Luke Gebhardt. He's had a couple of good carries on his last couple of carries, 14 and 11 yards.
Yeah, 231.5 yards a game on the ground for this Southeast Saline team.
First down and 10 from the 40. Luke wants to throw. Going up high to Michael Murray. Murray had a defensive back. Really good coverage that time by Nash Ray from his safety spot, and he was able to keep Murray away from that football. Just his second incomplete pass of the day for Southeast of Saline. So far, Luke Gebhardt in this game, 7 out of 9 throwing the football.
Yeah, and that was the best coverage by this Haven Wildcat defense, and Nash Ray out there really kind of blanketed all over Michael Murray to bring up second down and long.
24-0, Southeast of Saline, 67 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. Nate Friesen directly behind Luke Gebhardt in a pistol formation. They're going to give it to Friesen. He gets hit at the line of scrimmage, and he's brought down, just a gain of 1 as he falls ahead.
Yeah, and it looks like Haven may have stacked the box right there and had everybody in. 8 guys in the box and one-on-one coverage all the way out.
1 yard on the carry, 69 yards for Nate Friesen so far, 3 touchdowns. Just 6 carries. So on average, every other time he touches the football, he's going to score.
So when he gets it again, look out.
Here's a low snap. That one came out funny from Isaacson. Josiah Monday also in there on the offensive line right now, taking up residency where Mac Chambers usually is at the right guard spot. Penalty for Southeast of Saline will move them back 5 yards. Now a 3rd and 15 at the Haven 45-yard line.
And we'll have a local score update on the Bennington State Bank scoreboard after this play.
Here's the shotgun, back to Gebhardt. He's going to let it rip. Down the left hash, going up top. He wants Murray, and he just missed him at the goal line. Murray had everybody beat, had a defensive back trying to keep up with him, but that ball hung just a little bit, but still nearly landed in the gloves of Michael Murray.
and that was double coverage. So I think that's a good ball by Luke right there. You got to throw it up, and you only want your guy to get it or it fall incomplete, and that's exactly what it did. Now, Michael Murray still outran two guys in coverage right there, just outstretched of his arms just a little bit.
4th and 15 now after that incomplete pass. Southeast went for it on the opening drive, converted to 4th and 5. This is 4th and 15. They're still going to go for it from the Haven 45-yard line. Here's the snap back to Luke Gebhardt. He's being chased. Now he's going to slip the screen to Friesen. Friesen 5 yards deep in the backfield. Here comes the race. Out to the 40, to the 30, to the 20. There's a flag on the play. Nathan Friesen's going to stick this one in the end zone. We called it every other time he touches the football. He's going to score, but this one, it looks like it's coming back on a bad block out on the edge for Southeast of Saline.
Yeah.
It is called holding.
Yeah, I think it's a hold on Brody Chambers out there. I'm not exactly sure what else he was supposed to do. It was just a pancake block, and you just punish a guy for making a good block and just fell over on top of him. I mean, that was a clear, excellent block on the outside, so just unfortunate right there for Brody Chambers.
Think about the insanity, though, of that. You're 4th and 15. You throw the football 5 yards deep, so really a 4th and 20. Doesn't matter. He sticks it in the end zone anyway. The block may have had something to do with it, but now Southeast of Saline pushed back to the 50-yard line. Looking at a 4th down and 20, we'll send on the punt unit for the first time tonight, and really the first time in some time. This will be Luke Gebhardt's 8th punt of the season here in the 9th game.
Haven got everybody packed up tight like they might try to come get this.
Bunch of Wildcats standing up at the line of scrimmage. They are on return, though, or else at least they didn't get through the line of scrimmage. The punt by Luke will go inside the 20. It will die down at the 18-yard line. So things good as far as a field position flip there for Southeast of Saline.
And really the first thing that's went wrong in almost 3 weeks for Southeast of Saline right there, with that holding call bringing a touchdown back.
Haven will start out inside of their own 20 at the 18-yard line with just one play left to go here in the first quarter. It's 24-0 Trojans.
That update from the Bennington State Bank scoreboard is Rose Hill 6, Abilene 0 at the end of 1.
Okay, that going on at Cowboy Stadium down the road in Dickinson County. Here comes a slot guy in motion, and flags will fly here for the Wildcats. They will have a procedure penalty that will push them 5 yards back, now to the 13-yard line.
Yeah, not really much offensively so far for Haven, and putting yourself deep in first down is not something you can do against this Southeast of Saline team.
First down and 15 from the 13. Coming up here for the Wildcats. Two receivers to the right, one to the left. Sipe fakes the handoff. Now he's off and running. Has some space. Gets by a couple of Trojans. Breaks a couple of tackles. And now out across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Biggest play of the night for the Haven Wildcats. And it goes for 19 yards out to the 32.
And that's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter.
End of 1. Southeast of Saline on defense, but the Trojan offense has been electric so far in this game. 24-0 our score. Back with second quarter action. You're listening and watching on SalinaPost.com to Trojan Football. It's brought to you by Assyria Hardware and Oil on KINA.
Good evening, everyone. This is Shelby Dixon reporting live for Elite Sports Zombie Expedition ESZE, Channel 23. We are here at Elite Sports, just right south of Salina, in between Old Highway 81 and I-135. There is currently a zombie apocalypse occurring where the infected are trying to eat human flesh. We are currently right outside the quarantine zone, but I'm going to send you inside the quarantine zone to Sergeant Carter.
This is Sergeant Carter. We set up a perimeter to help contain the infected, but we need your help. They are multiplying by the minute. We have trailers with semi-automatic weapons equipped to take down these zombies. If you can pull the trigger, I don't care how old you are, if you can pull the trigger, please come out here and roll to be a zombie hunter and help us.
Play hard. Good luck, Trojans, from Roselawn Memorial Park in Salina. To learn more, visit roselawsalina.com.
Ready for second quarter action. Devin Haney along with Russ Kossel here at Steve Fritz Field on the campus of Southeast of Saline High School. Big carry there by Brant Sipe, Haven's quarterback, 19 yards at the end of the first quarter. Their big offensive play so far of this game, and now they have a first down and 10 at the 32-yard line. Trying to run it again. This time they hand it off to the tailback coming through. It is going to be Van Loop, and he is taken down for a loss of 3 on the play.
Yeah, and Van Loop kind of struggling to get anything going. It's if they don't run a quarterback run. Van Loop, not a very big guy in the backfield. At least he doesn't look that big standing behind Sipe.
Sipe he's a big dog. Second down and 13. Now Haven stacking a slot wingback and 2 wide receivers to the right for this second down and 13 play. Taking a lot of time here. Wildcats inside 5 on the play clock. They'll snap it with 3 seconds left. Now going out in the slot, here's the guy. It's Gavin Moore, and Moore caught it at the original line of scrimmage, then was thrown backwards by Southeast of Saline on defense.
And maybe we'll give a surprising update here in the Bennington State Bank scoreboard. That's 2A. 7:39 left to go in Hoisington. Phillipsburg 12, Hoisington 7.
The Panthers leading the Cardinals. Hoisington, a possibility somewhere along the line when you look ahead maybe at what Southeast of Saline could get into.
Here's another surprising one after this play.
God, just teasing. Third down and 9. Wildcats. Little sidearm throw over there that was nearly picked off. Daniel Kerr had a big read on that play, and he was able to have it. That was actually Luke Gebhardt on that play as the jersey straightens out and comes more towards me that time. All right, hit it, Russ.
Another 2A score, 5:23 left to go in the half. Riley County 14, Silver Lake 0.
I know that's not final, but I told you that was the one that put a flag up because that is a big rivalry game, and pardon the cliche, but you want to throw the records out the window when those two hook up. Falcons could give Silver Lake some problems. Here's the return by Luke Gebhardt. He takes it to the 32 across the 40. Gets to about the 48, 47-yard line, and Southeast of Saline will start their 5th drive of the game from there.
And see if the offense kind of stalled out on that last one. I say stalled out. They scored a touchdown that was called back for a hold, but nonetheless kept out of the end zone for the first time in the first half in 3 games.
Yeah, really penalties got the best of them on that last drive that they weren't able to score. 10:27 left to go here before the intermission. 24-0 Southeast of Saline. Trojans have the football back now. They 1st and 10 at their own 47-yard line. Here's the give. Murray sweeping right-hand side, plants the foot, cuts it back, and he'll get 2 on the play.
That might be the longest run for 2 yards you see in a game as Murray comes in motion and then strings to the outside, makes 1 guy miss, makes 2 guy miss, and then before you know it, it's only a gain of 2 yards.
Second down and 8 coming up here for Southeast of Saline. Everybody looking over the way of the coaching staff, who once in a while kind of looks like they're doing the YMCA. Snap back to Luke Gebhardt. Fakes it to Friesen. Now Luke wants to run left-hand side. He has across the 50-yard line, then close to a Trojan first down as he gets into Wildcat territory and brought down at the 43-yard line. It's a gain of 9 on the play, and we'll bring up 3rd down and 1.
And a great job once again by that offensive line. Trevor Keller pulling all the way around from that right tackle spot with a good lead block to spring Gebhardt up.
3rd down and 1. Little pitch out this time to Friesen. He's going to go right through the gap inside the 40 and brought down at the 35. Gain of 9 for Nate Friesen. 7 carries, 78 yards for the junior tailback from Southeast of Saline.
And Nate Friesen has been nothing short of phenomenal all year. Every week, you know, you got a 3rd and 1 and you run a pitch out outside to Nate Friesen and get 9 yards. Just a phenomenal job.
1st down and 10, Southeast of Saline at the Haven 35-yard line. Gebhardt rises up, throws, looking for Jake out on the edge, and that one led just a little bit. You could not get it any closer without it being a catch, and that one falls incomplete on the right-hand side. So Tyler Henry just chimed in on this.
Yeah.
He said he also looked at the Riley County game because Silver Lake has the worst passing defense in 2A. Riley County has the 8th passing offense, and they only lost to Silver Lake by 7 points in week number 1. How's that?
It's Tyler Henry, full of knowledge, usually right.
Most of the time. He's gotten a lot better on his math. I can't even give him static for that anymore. Here's Gebhardt over the top, right down the seam. Landon Allen at the 20, and he's going to run away. Landon Allen catches the ball in the middle of the field. You can go ahead and write that one down as he's just full of speed and electricity. Sparks flying off his shoes as he is able to score from 35 yards away.
And we've seen that play multiple times this year. Luke does a great job of riding Nate Friesen all the way up to the line of scrimmage, takes one step back, lets Landon Allen cross the linebackers, get to the third level, just lob it up there, and Landon Allen just outruns the coverage once again as we see the swinging gate for the first time tonight.
Comes Southeast now, running a specialty play for 2 points. Luke Gebhardt rolling out to the right, has a big collision before the pylon, and he is unable to get in. 8:59 left to go here. Second quarter, Southeast of Saline puts on another 6, and the Trojans lead it over Haven 30-0 as you listen to it here on KINA.
The Appliance Center. It's where you go to shop for washers, dryers, kitchen appliances, furniture, pellet grills, TVs, and so much more. If you are looking for a local, family-owned business, visit the Appliance Center. We're in the big red and white building on South Broadway in Salina. Come experience the Appliance Center difference.
To Coach Gebhardt, the players, coaches, and fans, let's make this a Football Friday to remember. Roselawn Memorial Park wishes you success this season. For more information, visit RoselawnSalina.com.
You're listening to Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
5 plays, 53 yards. Landon Allen on the scoring play caught a touchdown pass from Luke Gebhardt. 35 yards away, the 2-point conversion missed. And Southeast of Saline with 8:59 left to go in the second quarter leads it 30-0. That scoring recap brought to you by Phillips Seed Farms. That was the first passing touchdown of the game for Luke Gebhardt. He had 4 last week against the Ellsworth Bearcats. Nate Friesen so far has been the scorer for Southeast of Saline in this game. 3 first-quarter rushing touchdowns for Friesen. Just under 9 minutes left to go before the intermission. Wyatt Boyd ready to put this one in the air for the first time, kicking from right to left as you view it on live stream video at SalinaPost.com. Long end-over-end kick. Gavin Moore will take it back at the 15. He comes out to the 20, now changes directions, comes back near side, and he's going to be ran out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Keep it here at halftime. We will have a chance, or actually Tyler had a chance earlier to hook up with Wade Castleman. Of course, the biggest weekend of cross-country is coming up tomorrow. Their whole season kind of ends up there as the Southeast of Saline boys and girls cross-country teams trying to go for state titles. That's at Rimrock, just outside of Lawrence. Good luck to the Trojans and Lady Trojans, but we had a chance to hook up with Wade Castleman to talk about it. We will revisit that conversation at the half. From the 30, Southeast of Saline's defense back out on the field. Haven's offense. Sipe on the play action. Little belly option read play. He's going to pull it out, go to the 34-yard line. That'll be a gain of 4 on first down.
Make my way down to the field down here and talk about last week and just the gorgeous weather for late October. And I don't know if you can see the flag, Devin, because it is not moving. Absolutely no wind down here. Just a perfect night.
Pretty good. Pretty good. You never know. I mean, this is the last Friday night of October. So come back next week. It's going to be November. Here is Sipe. Faked the handoff once again and just took too much time. As Mac Chambers, good to see him back out on the field. He came storming in along with Cameron Whitty and Daniel Kerr, and those 3 Trojans were able to take care of Sipe for a loss on the play.
Yeah, Cameron Whitty, actually the first one there, read that play beautifully from the cornerback spot, made the first contact, and then everybody else to come in after.
Loss of 4 on that play for the Trojan defense. They have pushed Haven now back to their own 31. 3rd down and 9. Sipe gives it to the running back, Van Loop, this time, and he's going to take a loss back to the 20-yard line as Haven started this drive out with a big gain on first down, but now they have lost all that yardage. As they have gone now into a 4th and 11 situation. Murray, and this time Daniel Kerr back to receive the punt. They'll be standing inside of their own 35-yard line. Boy, there's a plethora of Southeast of Saline players you can put back to return punts, and they're all pretty terrifying if you're the other team.
Yeah, really anybody out here can go return punts.
Here's the punt from Haven. This one a low-line drive, wobbly kick, and it's going to bounce at the 45 and then pretty much die there between the 40 and 45-yard line. Southeast of Saline, not a chance on the return. And Luke Gebhardt puts his helmet on. He will come out for the Trojans' 6th drive of the first half. And it will start at their own 42-yard line. Also at halftime, other than head coach Wade Castleman for the cross-country team, we will have scores on the Bennington State Bank scoreboard and stats from the first half brought to you by Citizen State Bank in downtown Gypsum. That's all coming up at the half. 6:53 left to go. Until then, on the scoreboard, it also says Trojans are leading 30-0. Here's Michael Murray in motion. They're going to hand it off to Friesen, who comes straight through. Left-hand side, Friesen again off to the races. He's at the 45, and you can book it. Go ahead and put it down in the books for Nate Friesen. He just went Al Bundy on the Haven defense and scored his 4th touchdown of the night.
And I don't know, out here, these blocks, this may be the best out in open field that I've seen the Southeast of Saline Trojan team block. A hat on a hat. Wide receiver out here, it might have been Cameron Whitty on that play, did a phenomenal job. If it's not him, and I'm taking credit away, I'm sorry, but that is a great job of not holding and just driving your feet, keeping your hands in to free Nate Friesen.
Traditional formation here for the 2-point conversion. They go to Friesen. He's going to stretch it out to the right-hand side, plants the foot, cuts back, little hop over the goal line, and Friesen puts on the 2-point conversion. 6:42 left to go here in the second quarter. Trojans lead it 38-0 behind the running of Nate Friesen on KINA.
I can't believe I got rear-ended.
Hey, don't sweat it, Brian. Even the best drivers have a crash from time to time. That's why we have a collision center. We're a direct repair facility, which means no long waits from your insurance company. Our factory-certified technicians can handle all makes and models in our fully equipped body shop. When you bring your vehicle into us, it'll be like your crash never happened. Come on over to Home Automotive Collision Center. You'll be glad you did.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Back here at Steve Fritz Field, Nate Friesen has just scored for the 4th time tonight. This one on a 1-play drive, 58 yards. Friesen also put the 2-point conversion on, 38-0. Southeast of Saline now leading after that 1-play drive, capped off by Nate Friesen's long run. Friesen now with 8 carries, 136 yards, and 4 touchdowns. That scoring recap brought to you by Phillips Seed Farms and Russ. Nate Friesen now will be able to tell his children, grandchildren, possibly down the line, that he went Al Bundy in high school football twice in his junior year. He also had 4 touchdowns against Beloit earlier this year.
You think if I ask Nate Friesen, he'll know who Al Bundy is?
Maybe. Here's the kick by Wyatt Boyd. Gavin Moore will take it at the 22, and then he is destroyed by Josiah Monday. Josiah coming down the field and really not making any cuts, just exploded into the ball carrier.
And that is your starting nose guard that comes sprinting down the field in the first one down there to show you how much speed this team has. Another update on the Bennington State Bank scoreboard. 5:06 left to go second quarter. Hoisington now taking the lead 14-12 on Phillipsburg.
We'll have to keep an eye on that one. That one might be interesting to watch down the stretch. 6:37 left to go here. 38-0 our score. Southeast of Saline leading. Haven starting out here at their own 27-yard line. Sipe back to pass. Lets one rip down the sideline and overthrows his intended receiver, Nash Ray, going down the right-hand side. Coverage provided that time by Wyatt Boyd and also Cameron Whitty in the area.
Yeah, and that was a great ball by Sipe and had a beat on him. Wyatt Boyd was beat right there, and he just laid it out just a little bit too far in front of him. I think if I take one step forward, I might get my first catch of the season.
We don't want that to happen. Second down and 10. After the incompletion, they will try to run it again. And again, this one gets turned away for a loss of 2 yards. Just not much working in that run game for Van Loop.
And there's really not much working in the run game at all. This Southeast defense just stymie up front all year long. That one play by Sipe that got about 15 yards on 1st and long, and that's about all they've had all night.
3rd down and 12 for the Wildcats. Back at their own 25-yard line. They will take a pause now, glance over to their sideline for a couple of calls coming in. Here comes the blitz off the edge. Sipe has to get rid of it and goes right through the hands, high and hot to Preston Sander, and that is incomplete. 4th down now coming up for the Wildcats as Mac Chambers and Caden Isaacson showing blitz that time.
Yeah, and even on them quick throws, Devin, Southeast Saline he's taking a one-step drop, and he's got pressure in his face every time.
Yeah, the blitz off the edge that time made Sipe get rid of the ball a little early. Kerr and Murray back deep again. They're standing now with their toes on the 40. High snap. Haven gets it down, though. They kick it away. Murray has a chance. He bobbles the football at the 40. Now looking for some space. Couple of blocks there. Couple of blocks going back the other way as he reverses field to the 45, crosses the 50, and then is brought down after he crosses midfield at the 47-yard line. Luke Gebhardt back out as he gets ready to start already the 7th drive of this first half. Southeast has been successful in scoring touchdowns on all but one of them. And this one will start at the Haven 47-yard line.
Daniel Kerr in at quarterback.
5:34 left to go in the second quarter. Here's Kerr. Direct snap. He has space off the right-hand side. 40, 35, 30. A couple of blocks there, and he's tripped up at the 25-yard line, and he will be brought down at the 23. 24 yards on the first carry of the game for Daniel Kerr.
And Brody Chambers pulled from his left side and had an absolute great kick-out block to spring Daniel Kerr.
Give him 25 as they said he was down at the 22-yard line. Here is Kerr jumping for a high snap, now right at the gut. And on 2 carries, Daniel Kerr is going to stick this one in the end zone. Are you kidding me? 2 carries, 47 yards, and Danny Kerr in the end zone for Southeast of Saline.
And what was that game earlier this year? We saw him come in. Might have been the second game of the year where he comes in and has 3 plays, 3 runs, and a touchdown. So I can do one better.
It was Rock Creek. That was the first game of the year.
You're right. That was first game of the year. And he comes in, just give me the ball, and I'll get us down the field. Great job by Daniel Kerr in this offensive line.
Kerr stays in there for the 2-point conversion. He's going to give it to Friesen. Friesen stretching it out, then finds a little gap that he likes. He's going to stick his nose in there and score once again. Southeast of Saline, they've had a 1-play drive, now a 2-play drive, and they have extended this lead to 46-0. 5:11 left to go in the second quarter as you listen and watch live stream video on SalinaPost.com and also on KINA.
Stardust Trophy Downtown Salina has all the cool football medals and trophies your team needs for its players when their practice session pays off in big wins. Choose from tons of trophy styles and customize it exactly as you want. Stardust Trophy even has special trophies just for fantasy football leagues. Just for fun, choose football bobblehead trophies. Got an autographed or special football? Show it off in a special acrylic showcase from Stardust Trophy. 121 South Santa Fe, downtown Salina.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline football on KINA.
Your Phillips Seed Farm scoring drive, 2 plays, 47 yards. It was capped by Daniel Kerr in at quarterback. Both carries on that drive, 47 yards. Friesen ran in the 2-point conversion, and with 5:11 left to go in the second quarter, Southeast of Saline leads 46-0. Wyatt Boyd kicks it off once again. This one's going to bounce at the 20 and then become trouble for Haven. It goes all the way back inside the 15, now looking for some space, and there is none. All the way back to the 12-yard line will go Haven. And in on the play, a host of Southeast of Saline players, Evan Watkins along with Jace Van Amberg, Grady Gebhardt down there as well for Southeast.
Yeah, and Grady Gebhardt, the first one down there, held on with just one arm, and there's nowhere to go. And halftime, Riley County 14, Silver Lake 7.
Interesting. First down and 10 for Haven. They will start out here at their own 12. I definitely think Southeast of Saline is winning the field position battle tonight. Here is Van Loop. He comes through the line of scrimmage and gets a positive carry this time to the 19. Gain of 7.
Man, that might be the first run tonight where Haven has been able to get a push from the offensive line to the defensive Southeast, and a great job right there by getting that front push finally on their 5th or 6th drive of the game.
Loop had 5 yards on his first carry of the night, but since then has not had a positive carry until that one right there. Second down and 3. Ball just short of the 20-yard line. And they go back to Van Loop. He is going to bring it out to the 25.
Loop on the carry again, gain of about 3 and a first down.
First down for Haven.
Landon Allen with a big hit right there, comes up kind of holding his left arm, left shoulder, swinging it around as he stays in the game.
That block that he threw on the 2-point conversion earlier, actually, it was on the touchdown, one of Friesen's touchdowns. I think might have stung him a little bit on one of those arms. There's a big purple stand right in the middle of the field once again, not letting Haven advance the football at all there. And it will be 2nd down and 10.
And Jace Van Amberg checking in for Landon Allen. I think the coaching staff called that and pulled him out of the game.
Ty Pennington in the backfield now with Van Loop. Pennington will go to the right-hand side, set up and tight. 2nd down and 9. Flags will fly here. There was some early movement up front on one of the lines. It will be procedure penalty against the Haven Wildcats and drive them 5 yards backwards to the 20-yard line.
Yeah, left tackle tried to get a jump to come to the middle linebacker spot. That might be the only way they're able to stop Mac Chambers and Caden Isaacson.
So ball setting just outside of the 20. Chase Van Amberg is out there on defense. Tucker Thaxton's been out there on defense as well here in this first half. 2nd and 15 for the Wildcats. Brant Sipe maybe changing calls there. Now the Southeast defensive line will shift. Van Loop comes through, and he is going to be taken down right there at the 20-yard line for no gain.
Still trying to find an update on the Chaparral-Halstead game as Big Sam Pretty back in the studio texted me saying he can't find it either.
World Wide Web's a big, big place. From the 20, 3rd down and 15 for Haven. 2 wide receivers on the left-hand side. They're going to go back to the running game to Van Loop, and a flag is going to fly from the lead official in the offensive backfield. There was no gain there for Loop on that play, and we'll have to check the flag. It is holding against Haven. Lead me to believe the Southeast is probably going to decline this penalty. And they will, so it'll be now 4th and 15. So different units will come on. Punt return for Southeast, punting unit for Haven. A lot of punts for Haven. Cooper Seidel, the punter for Haven, might have to ice his leg at halftime along with Wyatt Boyd, who's the kickoff guy for Southeast. Here's some heat. Seidel, though, gets it away. Nice high kick. Murray waiting on at the 45, and then he is drilled right away by Trey Pennington. Pennington just on time as he was able to take Murray down, and it will be at the Southeast of Saline 43-yard line.
Yeah, great timing right there, and even better job by Michael Murray to hold on to the football. As soon as he made contact with the football, there was contact on him heavy.
So Southeast of Saline here with 2:27 left to play before halftime. Their 8th offensive drive of the first half. That's insane to me. They have 57 yards in front of them. All timeouts remaining. 2 wide receivers on the right-hand side. Here's the give to Friesen. He takes it deep in the backfield. Now cuts it up. He'll cross the 50 and get to the 49 on a gain of 8 for Nate Friesen.
Yeah, Michael Murray with a great clean-out block on the outside. Just an absolute great job of making contact, driving your feet through the block.
Just the 9th carry for Friesen so far tonight. He is all about quality and not quantity. 2nd down and 2. Kerr rolling out. He is going to hit Evan Watkins, who will take it inside the 40 and be brought down at the 36-yard line. Nice little play there between Kerr and Watkins. Gain of 13 and another Trojan first down.
And Kerr, being a left-handed quarterback, rolling out to the left side, just looks so natural, rolling out and finding Evan Watkins wide open in the flat.
Back to the line of scrimmage, Southeast of Saline. Little bubble screen out here to Tucker Thaxton, and he will take about 6 yards here. First catch of the night for Tucker Thaxton.
And you get some of these other guys coming in and running routes, and you can tell that they're ready to come in because these routes are clean and crisp, just like Jake Gebhardt runs, just like Michael Murray runs. Just a phenomenal, phenomenal job.
Southeast of Saline now at the 30-yard line. Second down. Kerr throwing, rolling to the right. Put that one on Murray, and Murray unable to bring it in. That'll be the first incompletion for Daniel Kerr. It does look a little weird. We talk about Luke Gebhardt a lot, rolling to the left, even though he's a right-handed quarterback and still making plays. That time Daniel Kerr was rolling to his right, even though he's a left-handed quarterback, just the complete opposite, and still delivering a ball.
Yeah, and he put it right on the hands of Michael Murray there. And I think if he was able maybe to set his feet, Jake, on the far side, there was nobody within 15 yards of him down the field.
Third down and 5 here for the Trojans. They're at the Haven 31-yard line. Here's the give, back to Friesen. Tiptoes his way towards the line of scrimmage, looking for some space, and he's going to be very, very close to a Trojan first down, and they're going to move the chains. Well, maybe they're not. Yeah, they are.
Yeah, I think they're going to move the chains. Just got a Chaparral Halstead scored. Don't know how much time's left. 21-7 Chaparral.
5 yards on that last carry by Friesen. First down for Southeast of Saline. Daniel Kerr, little pump fake, wants it all down the left-hand sideline. Thaxton going up. That ball let him out of bounds. Incomplete. That takes us under a minute left to go here in the second quarter. 59.6 seconds on the clock.
And I think if Kerr leaves that one inbounds and Tucker Thaxton has a shot to go get it, he put a great stop-and-go move on the corner out here. You just got to keep that in play to allow your receiver to make a play on it.
Second down and 10. Ball sitting at the 26. Southeast of Saline, 3 wide receivers on the right-hand side. Daniel Kerr takes off, design quarterback run inside the 20, now diving inside the 15, gets to the 14-yard line on a gain of 12, and a Southeast of Saline first down.
Just keep the chains moving. The ground game obviously working really, really well tonight.
Here's the snap back to Kerr. He's rolling to the left this time, going to the end zone, and that one led Murray out of bounds towards the end zone. Came out of the goal line and just stretched a little too far that time. It'll be second down and 10 from the 14.
Yeah, it's almost like when Kerr rolls out of the pocket, whether it's to the left or to the right, his momentum still is carrying the football farther and farther out.
Maybe that art where you just tap the brake a little bit to let one rip, right? Kerr this time, 3 wide receivers on the right. He's going to follow Friesen through the line of scrimmage into the second level, and he'll be brought down about the 6-yard line after a gain of 8 yards. Daniel Kerr.
I think we're going to get a timeout by Southeast here.
And Southeast will call a timeout. Their first one of the half, they stop the clock with 34.7 seconds left to go. Back with more Trojan football on KINA.
Work hard, play hard. Good luck, Trojans, from Roselawn Memorial Park in Salina. To learn more, visit roselawnsalina.com.
Frisbee Construction is a service organization for the commercial grain industry dedicated to giving you the best in planning, the best in quality, and the best of workmanship and overall the best value for your dollar since 1949. Frisbee Construction specializes in new construction as well as remodel and repair of grain handling facilities throughout the Midwest. Frisbee Construction Company in Gypsum has emergency crews available as needed. For more information, go to frisbeeinc.com.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan football on KINA Sports.
Russ Kossel is on the field. My name is Devin Haney in the booth. Big Sam Purdy producing and engineering as we work our way towards halftime. 34.7 seconds on the clock. Southeast of Saline leads at 46-0, and they are looking for more as they are set up third down and 3 at the 7-yard line. Daniel Kerr is in at quarterback. And now a procedure penalty called against Southeast of Saline. False start. This will back Southeast up to the 12. So now third down and 8 for the Trojans. They have scored so far on every drive here in this first half. This is their 8th drive of the night. Kerr will move Friesen to the left-hand side. He'll fake it on the handoff that way. Now go to the end zone, and it's going to be a dime dropped right in the number 9 of Michael Murray's jersey, and Murray has a touchdown on the receiving end tonight. That is his 4th receiving touchdown of the year.
Yeah, and if I heard you right, scoring on every drive, they did have one punt. earlier tonight. But nonetheless, a great job right there. Kerr able to set his feet that time. He was kind of rolling, and then he stopped, planted, step, put it right on the numbers of Michael Murray's. You're going to get Wyatt Boyd in here for an extra point attempt.
The golden leg of Wyatt Boyd, 7 from 8 for extra points so far this year. This one goes up, and it is good. Now make it 8 out of 9. 29.1 seconds left to go. 53-0. Southeast of Saline. A break, and then the end of the first half when we come back here on KINA.
Maybe you don't play quarterback or make the highlight reel. Maybe you're not a high school athlete anymore. But just like an athlete, you can get first-class orthopedic care from Salina Ortho. Their doctors and staff strive to get you back to an injury-free, pain-free life as quickly as possible. Salina Ortho has a doctor on call 24/7 for all orthopedic injuries. So next time you're injured, trust the experts at Salina Ortho. Your voice, your choice, past, present, and future. See them online at salinaortho.com.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline football on KINA.
A 10-play drive, their longest drive as far as plays go of the night, and it ended up being a touchdown strike from Daniel Kerr, 12 yards away to Michael Murray, and the two-point conversion was not a two-point conversion. It was an extra point kick by Wyatt Boyd, 53-0 with 29.1 seconds remaining here in the first half. Here's the kick by Wyatt Boyd. It's going to die at the 20-yard line. Haven will come pick it up. It will be Moore with the return. Angling now to the left-hand side, looking for space, and he's taken down by Jace Van Amberg.
And that's a great job of the backside, especially Jace Van Amberg, staying home and not over-pursuing the play. He saw the play cut back, and he kind of just put on the brakes, kept his feet moving up and down, and was able to clear in and make the tackle.
Haven offense on the field now as we wrap up this first half of play. 22.2 seconds left. Mitch Gebhardt before he goes to the locker room at halftime. Here's a flag by the back judge. Haven's going to have a decent play here. They're going to bring it out for about 14 yards with the back judge on the flag early in that play, Russ.
I think they're going to get 12 men on the field as Landon Allen or Nate Friesen didn't get off the field in time over here. Or maybe legal substitution, same thing. I'm not really sure if you do on that, but guy already had his helmet off, jogging off the field. Yeah, he didn't get off, so technically it is an illegal substitution. Probably be declined and keep the first down.
15 yards by Brent Sipe on that run. 31 yards rushing for the Haven quarterback so far. Haven has 2 timeouts remaining here in this first half. 15.6 seconds left, and they're going to tack this penalty on to the Sipe run. So this will move the football closer to the midfield stripe for the Haven Wildcats and across midfield to the 47-yard line in southeast of Saline territory. So Southeast defense needs to stand up here. Sipe wants to pass. Clean pocket, lets it rip down the hash. Right-hand side has Moore. And Moore hangs on to that football. He was bobbling it going to the ground and catches it at the 10-yard line. That's a 37-yard rip down the seam from Sipe to Moore. Wow.
Yeah, that was right in front of me, and that is a great job by Moore of concentration. As soon as he made contact with it, had a tug on his jersey behind him. He bobbled it, kept his eyes on it the whole time, and was able to corral it right before he went to the ground.
I mean, I saw it from up here in the box. He had that football initially bob off his gloves and come free. Able to haul it in and make that catch. So with 9.1 seconds remaining, Haven in scoring position for the first time tonight. They're at the 10-yard line. And 2 timeouts remaining with 9.1 seconds left to get 10 yards.
Well, we got a stoppage in play. Another update from the Bennington State Bank scoreboard. Ellsworth Garden Plain tied at 7 at the half.
Ooh. You never know, do you?
Everybody's 0-0 starting this week.
2 receivers to the left for Brent Sipe. Haven looking to score here before the half. Looked like the snap came early. Sipe now will roll out to the right. Has some heat on him, and he's going to bounce it at the ankle. Trey Pennington coming around the shallow part of the goal line. That leaves 4 seconds on the clock for Haven. Clock stopped due to the incomplete pass.
Yeah, you're right. That snap definitely did come early as it kind of surprised him, and only the wide receiver that ran the route was really the only one watching the ball ready for that one to be snapped.
It's amazing how something that small can just throw the timing of the whole play off. 2nd down and 10. Sipe in the pistol formation will try it again. He'll roll out to the left-hand side. The big Haven quarterback now will deliver it. It will be over to Moore, who will step out of bounds after a gain of 7. Looks like he's out of bounds at the 3-yard line.
Next up will be the Sparklers for your halftime entertainment.
And we're out of time. Gavin Moore has the last catch of the half. And Haven going to the locker room with Southeast of Saline leading 53-0. Awaiting the arrival of head coach Mitch Gebhardt before he goes to the locker room here. Right at halftime. Get his thoughts on another pretty good first half of football for Southeast of Saline. Russ, take it away.
Coach, 53-0, another great first half, another great start to this game, really owning the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. Your thoughts overall?
Yeah, I thought we did. Again, I think our offensive and defensive line have played awful well. Obviously, our run game was very good. I don't know how many running touchdowns we had, but it was several. So, I feel like our run game did a nice job there.
Yeah, Nate Friesen, 4 touchdowns, well over 100 yards on 8 carries. So every other time he touches the ball, he's getting in the end zone, and that's just a testament to this offensive line.
Oh, it is. And like I said, earlier, I feel like our guys have done a better job of blocking downfield, and that's such a big deal. It turns a 5 or 10 yard run into a 40 or 50 yard run.
Okay, Coach. Good luck second half.
All right, thank you.
Mitch Gebhardt on the field with Russ Kossel. We are at halftime. When we come back, Wade Castleman will join us. It's courtesy of Winnell Garrettson at SalinaHomes.com. If you want to buy or sell, you know to call Winnell. At halftime, 43-0 is our score. Southeast of Saline leads Haven in first-round bracket action here at Steve Fritz Field. The Knauf Auto and Truck Accessories halftime report begins now here on KINA.
Knauf Auto and Truck Accessories. Everything to bling out your ride in one place, including top quality lift kits, wheels and tires, bumpers, Jeep accessories, fender flares, bed covers, bed liners, step bars, even custom painting. Knauf Auto is the and soil dealer and has many synthetics and filters in stock. Visit Knauf Auto on Facebook for specials, great ideas, and let them make your truck stick out in a crowd. Knauf Auto and Truck Accessories, supporting the Southeast of Saline Trojans.
This is Tammy Bedreau at the Bank of Tesket. If you're looking to purchase your new home in the near future, I want you to know we offer a variety of loan options to finance your home purchase. I would love an opportunity to be your lender. Give me a call or stop in today to learn more. We are local lenders making local decisions. The Bank of Tesket, committed to those we serve. MLS number 712440. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
APAC Kansas Incorporated has been building the Heartland from the ground up for over a century. From the supply of aggregate materials, hot mix asphalt, and concrete to the construction of roads and bridges, we do it all. You've seen our trucks, and now we want to hire you. APAC in Salina is growing, and we are hiring for all positions. From truck drivers to mechanics, general laborers, and construction, APAC has your next career. For more details, visit the job links page at salinapost.com. Great pay and benefits, APAC is an equal opportunity employer.
It's third down and 8 for the Trojans. They really need to make the right call here.
During the football game, it's crucial to make the right call. And in real estate, one call can bring a positive outcome from your real estate experience. Whether you're looking for real property, upsizing to make room for the family, downsizing, or acquiring investment property, call Winnell Garrettson at SalinaHomes.com.
What a call! Touchdown, Trojans!
Buy or sell, call Winnell.
This is the Trojan Halftime Report. Coming up, a first half recap, stats, interviews, and a look at other area games. Let's head back to the stadium for Trojan Halftime on KINA.
Back here on the Knauf Auto and Truck Accessories Halftime Report, I'm Tyler Henry, and it's time to catch up with SES Cross Country Coach Wade Castleman, presented by Winnell Garrettson at SalinaHomes.com. Coach, thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to talk with us as we approach the state meet in Rimrock this Saturday.
Good to have you, Tyler.
Well, first and foremost, I know that success is the expectation at Southeast of Saline with these programs, but your teams have been running at a state championship level again after losing some huge seniors. Overall, how proud are you of this group for just the work and dedication that they've put in to get here?
This is a great group of kids, and, I didn't expect any less from them. They have worked hard all season, done everything we've asked them to do. They don't ever question what we're doing in practice, and they want to succeed. And, they've put in a lot of miles and a lot of sweat and a lot of tears and a lot of blisters this season to get to where they're at, and we're excited for them.
Before we turn our attention to state, let's take a moment to celebrate some success you guys had at regionals. It's another clean sweep. It's 2 punch tickets to state. What was the best thing you saw from your teams in Council Grove last weekend?
Just them getting out and competing at a high level. At this point in the season, everybody's wanting to peak at the right time and run their best races. And, there were some kids in both races that went out, and some of them knew that, hey, this is maybe our only way to go is as an individual. So they were out there and attacking it. And both the girls and the guys, they stuck to our race plan of just, trying to keep it packed together and not going out too fast in the race. It paid off for us.
Regionals are kind of a final test of sorts before state. I know you had mentioned wanting to cut down on a few time gaps, but let me ask, overall, do you feel like everybody is running at their peak as we head into the biggest meet of the season?
I think so. And I still think a coach always thinks they have room for improvement. And I still think that we can cut that gap down even more. Rimrock, I think Adrenaline is going to be running at a high level at state on Saturday. The kids are going to come out and they're going to, give it everything they got.
I know throughout the year, every meet matters, but again, how excited are the kids to finally be here where you guys have been working to get all season long, ready to run for a pair of state titles?
They're very excited. We're actually going up Friday or today and spending time on the course Friday to run the course, and then that way we're there at a decent time. Saturday morning, we don't have to get up, real early just to get on a bus to travel a long way. So this is something that we have not done in quite a few years, and the kids are excited about it, that we're going up early and that we get to see the course, set up our team camp, and just kind of get a feel for everything in the atmosphere.
You guys have been far and away the fastest 3A school at every single meet this season for both the boys and the girls. It seems like most of your competition this year has been against your own personal best times. Now you go to Rimrock and you see a Wichita Trinity team that has realistically, the same goals and capabilities that you guys do. I know Cheney's girls are good as well. Is the mentality on the course different now that you're racing other runners in person and you can, have a visual to see the mark you need to beat?
The kids know who they check social media a lot, and so they know exactly where Wichita Trinity is going to be, and we talk about where the Cheney girls were in reference to us at the Halstead meet, and so we talk about their personnel, where we need to be. Our number one needs to be close to their number one or number two runner, and so we talk about those things in practice and form a race plan around that.
There are certainly other good teams at state, but to avid cross-country fans, it seems like this is a 2-horse race between yourselves and Wichita Trinity on the boys' side, maybe a 3-horse race between yourselves, Trinity, and Cheney on the girls. I know your focus is on what you can do internally, but I wanted to ask straight up, how do you feel like your teams stack up against the Knights for the boys and against the Knights and the Cardinals for the girls?
On the boys' side, we know that it's going to be a tough race, but we're looking forward to it. We wish that we would have had an opportunity during the season before now to run against them, but that's just the way it played out this year. With them, Trinity having everybody back from last year, we are familiar with them. We got to see them at the state track meet last year, so we know who they are, and they know who we are as well. And for the girls, running against Wichita or Cheney at the Halstead Invitational, that helps. So we got to see them and see where we are in relationship to them. And our girls haven't got to see Wichita Trinity, but we feel like we can compete with any team in 3A, and we just have a positive mindset that we're going to go out there and give it our all.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that positive mindset, because I wanted to ask you this as well. I know cross country, it's a grueling physical endurance test, but how big is the mental aspect of the sport, and what have you guys as a coaching staff done to work with your athletes on staying positive while still demanding that they be the best runners they can be?
The kids have an opportunity. We do some mental imagery. I don't make it mandatory for them, but usually a couple days before the meet, we'll go into a nice quiet room and turn off the lights, and we go through a relaxation technique. And then, I'll talk them through the race and everything. And most of them have ran most of the courses that we've competed on. And so, I'll reference different parts of the course and everything. And some of the kids don't like to do that drill that we do just because some of them feel it makes them a little too anxious and everything. And I respect that. But, going forward, the kids know that, hey, we've got to stay mentally strong. Oh, well, here's one of my teammates along the race. They're struggling a little bit. I need to help pull them along as well. So going into it, we're excited and we're hoping for the very best.
Regardless of the end result for these two teams, overall, what has it been like to coach this group specifically, and how enjoyable have these kids been to work with, not just as runners, but as the young men and women that they are?
It has been a pure joy. Every one of them, I think of them as an extended family, and we try to keep that family atmosphere with our group of kids. I want the very best for them, and I know I can depend on them to give me their very best. Regardless of the outcome on Saturday, I wouldn't want to trade this group of kids for any other group of kids in the state of Kansas that are running on Saturday.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, thank you so much for stopping by, and best of luck to you and your teams at Rimrock as SES hunts a pair of state titles out there on the course.
Thank you so much, Tyler. We appreciate your support through the season.
Absolutely. That was SES head cross-country coach Wade Castleman, presented by Juan L. Garrettson at SalinaHomes.com. The Trojans and Lady Trojans will run at state tomorrow with 2 state titles on the line. Coming up next, more on the Knauf Auto and Truck Accessories halftime report and the second half between Southeast and Haven. It's all right around the corner on KINA.
Citizens State Bank has been serving Kansans for over 100 years. We are a full-service bank that can service your personal, business, and agricultural lending and deposit needs. Citizens State Bank offers 24/7 convenience with mobile deposit, online banking, and our ATM conveniently located in front of the building. Stop by and see our friendly and helpful staff. Citizens State Bank at 600 Maple Street in Gypsum, Kansas. Citizens State Bank and Trust Company is a proud supporter of the Southeast of Saline Trojans.
Salina Regional's Orthopedic and Sports Medicine is your home field advantage. Our physicians include sports medicine physician Dr. Matthew Pyle, along with orthopedic surgeons Drs. Travis Rump and Todd Riley, plus an A-team of certified athletic trainers and physical therapists. We're ready when you need us to help prevent injuries, enhance performance, or to heal through surgery and rehabilitation. For area athletes to weekend warriors, the home field advantage starts at Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine.
Kansas Wesleyan University is proud to offer bachelor's degrees in criminal justice and emergency management, with both programs available on campus and online. Graduates have gone on to positions in the Secret Service, various police departments, the Kansas Court of Appeals, and to serve as county officials right here in the Sunflower State. Want to know more? Visit kwu.edu today. That's kwu.edu.
Don't get caught on empty. Fill up on all your basic needs at Asaria Oil and Hardware. We want to be sure you are fueled up and ready for whatever may be around the corner, no matter what time of day. Now live at Asaria Oil and Hardware, 24/7 pumps. No matter what time of day or night, your gas and diesel tanks can rely on us. During regular business hours, you can get your favorite pizza and snacks to have enough energy to win the day. Asaria Oil and Hardware, located in Asaria at the corner of Center and Main. We'll fill you up.
You're listening to Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Back here at Steve Fritz Field, it is halftime, and it is 53-0 Southeast of Saline. 24 points in the first quarter, 29 points in the second quarter, total all up 53-0 at half. Haven did threaten there at the end of the first half, but Southeast of Saline turned them away and did not let them score. Stats from the first half brought to you by Citizens State Bank in downtown Gypsum. You want to bank where the Trojans bank, and that is in beautiful downtown Gypsum at Citizens State Bank. Southeast of Saline, 158 passing yards, 146 rushing yards. They have a total of 304 yards of offense at the break, led by Nate Friesen, 10 carries, 149 yards, 4 touchdowns in 2 quarters of play. Luke Gebhardt, 8 of 12 passing the football, 112 yards, a touchdown, no interceptions. His leading target, Michael Murray, 4 catches, 48 yards, and a touchdown. Also, Landon Allen caught a big touchdown of 35 yards. He has 3 catches, 64 yards, and that touchdown. Jake Gebhardt, a couple of catches, 27 yards. Tucker Thaxton caught a ball from Daniel Kerr of 6 yards. And Evan Watkins caught a ball for 13 yards from Daniel Kerr as well. Gebhardt, along with Nate Friesen, rushing the football. 6 carries, 48 yards. Daniel Kerr had 4 carries, 47 yards, and a touchdown. And Michael Murray had 1 carry for 2 yards. Once again, all in all, Southeast of Saline racking up over 300 yards of offense in the first half. So far for the Haven Wildcats, 39 yards rushing, 51 yards passing, 90 yards of offense. Their quarterback, Brant Sipe, 4 of 9 passing the football. No touchdowns, no interceptions. So far, there has not been a turnover in this game by either squad. Halftime, 53-0. Southeast of Saline leads it. When we come back, Russell will have a check of the Bennington State Bank scoreboard. It's after this timeout of 2 minutes here on KINA.
At home or on the road, K4 Garage will keep you moving. With over 12 years of mechanic experience, owner Nick Trout will diagnose and repair your engine to keep you in the game. Full-service gas, diesel, or tires. K4 Garage also has a fully stocked convenience store with snacks and drinks. Open Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 6, Saturday from 9 until 3. Trust K4 Garage with keeping you on the road. And if it has oil, they can change it at K4 Garage in Gypsum.
Insurance is something we all need in our business, home, car, and life. But do you really understand what's covered? And most importantly, what you are paying for? Hi, this is Rob Carlson in the Salina office of Smart Insurance. Change is good, especially if you haven't looked at your insurance policy lately. I can help you understand what you need and where the gaps are in your coverage. We provide free quotes and take pride in looking out for you. Smart Insurance, with locations in Salina, Abilene, and Harrington. Give us a call today.
Suburban Appliance Center is your official dealer for Traeger grills. Check out this 6-in-1 versatile unit that grills, bakes, smokes, roasts, braces, and barbecues. Suburban is your exclusive dealer for the Traeger Timberline series, and they have your Traeger spices too. Suburban Appliance Center, they are locally owned and they offer appliance brands like Amana, KitchenAid, Whirlpool, and of course Maytag. Suburban also offers exceptional service. Suburban Appliance Center, 1900 South 9th.
Farmers, cooler weather is here and wheat is in the ground. The time to start thinking about the next growing season is upon us. Let Phillips Seed Farms work with you to pick the right corn hybrids and soybean varieties for your farm. Our extensive PR&D research system allows us to select hybrids that succeed in this area. Also, now is the time to take advantage of our early pay discounts to get your best price. Visit us at phillipsseed.com or call 785-949-2204 to learn more. Serving, innovating, growing since 1985.
You're listening to Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Just about ready for start of third quarter play. Devin Haney, Russ Kossel back here at Steve Fritz Field, and Russ has been a pen is smoking, the paper's burning a little bit. You have been working over the Bennington State Bank scoreboard here at halftime.
Yeah, and with a little help from our friend Tyler Henry, we got quite a few scores to run through here and see how many I can get in a minute and 50 seconds.
And go.
Latest halftime scores we have: Wamego 42, Ulysses 8, Clay Center 42, Chapman 6. Riley County, I've got about 4 different updates on this game, but the latest I've found is Riley County 21, Silver Lake 13, 7:29 to go in the third. At halftime, Abilene 0, Rose Hill 6. Chaparral over Halstead 21-7. The winner of this game gets the winner of that game. Abilene now ties it up 6-6 with 8:12 left in the third. Kingman up on Hillsboro 35-0. Hoisington Phillipsburg still 14-12 Hoisington. Mays all over Salina South 56-0 at the half. Rock Creek, who's been on a roll since they've left with a loss here at week 1 at Southeast Saline, 43-21 over Clearwater. Another 2A game, Council Grove 21 over Fredonia 8. Russell all over Cimarron 50-0 at the half.
Whoa. Are the Broncos good? Is Russell good this year? That's kind of crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, all over Cimarron, and they will get the winner of Hoisington Phillipsburg in the second round. So I guess you will find out how good they are when we get to the regional next Friday, November 4th. That's the updates I have from the Bennington State Bank scoreboard. I'm going to put my pen down. It's getting hot in my hand.
Well done, my friend. It just seems weird because we played Russell for so long, and then they decided they didn't want to be a part of our party anymore in the NCAA, and they jumped to a different league. And now this year is the first year that we have not played them. Kind of lost track of them a little bit. But I don't know.
Coming into week 9, 5-3 on the year, playing a 2-6 Cimarron team. But you go up next week, you're going to get with Phillipsburg 3-5 playing 6-2 Hoisington. Those two winners play each other. But once again, records mean nothing. Week 9 really equals week 1.
That was awesome. I never thought about it like that. From the 19-yard line, here is a return for Haven. They're going to bring it out to the 29. Bodies just flying around out there for Southeast of Saline's coverage team. Josiah Monday out there making tackles.
Looks like we're going to have wholesale changes here on the defenses. I just heard that we are going to have a running clock the whole second half.
All righty. From the 30-yard line, Haven will start out. 53-0, our score here at the break. Brant Sipe rolling out on the left. He's going to throw it, and broken up. Boy, Jace Van Amberg out there on the edge. Took that one out of the air. Also coverage provided out there by Malachi Hopkins. As we go through, and a lot of people making their way onto the field right now for Southeast of Saline. Gunnar Jacobson out there.
Marcus Davis,
yep. Also out there.
Wade Rutherford on defense.
Rutherford on defense, playing end. Is that Brody Chambers at nose guard? Yep.
Looks like it.
Here's Sipe. He'll come over to the right-hand side, cross the 30, and then he'll make contact with Marcus Davis. Go ahead to the 37-yard line on a gain of 7.
Let's see if we can get Brenton Heller out there right in. Grady Gebhardt playing linebacker. Evan Watkins playing linebacker.
Tucker Thaxton has moved from corner to safety, along with Gunnar Jacobson. Sipe will take it straight ahead again. He'll have a Haven first down as he comes across the 40 to the 42-yard line. Grady Gebhardt in on the stop that time.
Also, Bryson, help me with the last name, Devin. Leipold?
Yeah.
Leipold. Got it right the first time.
That's Coach G. He knows.
Heck.
41-yard line is the spot. 2 wide receivers on the right-hand side for Haven. They're going to hand it off here to Van Loop. He wanted to cut inside and then caught it to the outside. Gunnar Jacobson will force him out of bounds just short of the 50 at the 49-yard line. That is a gain of 8 for Van Loop. 10th carry, 19 yards for Loop so far tonight.
Evan Watkins did a great job sticking his nose up in there, just taking on the lead blocker, forcing that one to go outside.
Haven at the 48, 2nd down and 3. Need to cross the midfield stripe and get another yard to move the chains here for first down. Little screen play out to the right-hand side. That's going to go to Nash Ray, and Haven will have the first down. First complete pass of the second half for Haven.
Marcus Davis doing a great job right there to keep that one for a minimal gain, keeping the sideline as another defender and pushing him out.
Haven into Southeast of Saline territory for the second time tonight at the 46. First down and 10. Sipe play action over the middle to Moore. Moore gets away from Jacobson, and he's going to take it inside the 30 to about the 27-yard line. It's a gain of 19 on a big play for the Wildcats.
Yeah, Gannon Jacobson just unable to break down and make that tackle and to get up on the field. Malachi Hopkins coming in to almost save a touchdown right there.
70 yards by Gavin Moore on 5 catches this evening. Football sitting at the 26-yard line now after that big gain of 19. First down and 10 for the Wildcats. They pushed it all the way down inside the 10-yard line right before half, just ran out of time as we hit intermission going at the end of the first half. Here's Sipe on the fake handoff. He's going to take it to the right-hand side and a gain of about 3 yards. Jace Van Amberg, one of the first ones to arrive there for Southeast of Saline on defense after Sipe knocks off 4 yards.
Yeah, just a great tackle right there by Jace Van Amberg. Get low. Obviously, quarterback Sipe is the biggest guy, tallest guy out on the field right now, going down field level. I don't know how tall they list him at, but he's got to be 3 or 4 inches taller than that.
They say he's 6'3".
Yeah, he's every bit of 6'3".
Second down and 6, just outside of the 20-yard line. They go back to Van Loop. He has some open space, twisting, turning, and then he is tattooed from behind and dropped by Tucker Thaxton right as he enters the 15-yard line. He got to the 14-yard line, and that's a gain of 9 for Van Loop.
Yeah, and see if this Southeast Saline defense can hold them out of the end zone here as we're approaching halfway through the third quarter already.
First down and 10 from the 14. They go back to Loop, working on the left-hand side. Ran into his own guy, or he might have scored on that play, and he'll get 8 yards. Down to the 6.
Yeah, I couldn't see who. Somebody got in the backfield real early and just had their head down and ran right by the running back.
Second down and 2. Go back to Loop, right up the middle, and he'll get this football inside of the 5 and get a first down and goal for the Haven Wildcats.
Yeah, Grady Gebhardt in there on the tackles, saving that touchdown on that play to bring up first and goal.
6 yards on that play. They go back to Loop, and he's going to be stood up. Gebhardt, first one in. Grady wrapping him up and then letting his company come in and take charge.
Yeah, once again, a great job by Grady of filling that open hole, taking on the running back head on and keeping him out of the end zone. As now the running back seems to be a little trying to get a sub out on the field as he's unable, kind of limping around right now.
Second and goal at the 1. They're going to leave him in there, not sub him out.
See if Sipe keeps this one himself.
He has to, doesn't he? Well, they gave it to Loop, and he is going to be tackled by 4 different Trojans on that play.
Yeah, and he tried to get subbed out there as he's still having troubles. It looks like now they're going to get a substitute in for him there. They go no huddle, so there's plenty of time on the play clock there to get him out. Jacob Moore coming into the game at running back.
Sipe on the keeper will take it off the left-hand side, and that'll be Haven's first score of the night with 5:05 left to go here in the third quarter from 1 yard away. Brant Sipe scores.
Good drive put together, mainly all on the ground right there for the Haven Wildcats as they get their first points and first positive yardage really on a whole drive of the game, and it comes too little too late almost in the third quarter.
They will go for 2. Clock continues to run. Sipe rolling out to the right-hand side. He'll throw it low and incomplete. And they'll stick with 6 on this drive. 53-6, Southeast of Saline will see the Trojans' first possession of the second half. When we come back, Southeast of Saline leading it 53-6 here on KINA.
Fall is here and another season of mowing is almost complete. Between regular use and potential damage from unseen branches or rocks, mowers endure a great deal of stress. Let Prairie Land Partners John Deere certified technicians inspect and service your mower or handheld equipment. Neglecting service at the end of the season could potentially shorten your mower's lifespan and lead to expensive repairs. Call, stop by, or visit prairielandpartners.com to schedule your equipment service today.
Delivering the right solution. Prairie Land Partners.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Back here on the campus of Southeast of Saline High School, Steve Fritz Field. Again, best of luck to Wade Castleman and the Southeast of Saline cross-country runners tomorrow. Hopefully they bring home a couple of first-place trophies in Class 3A cross-country. Russ?
44 seconds left to go. Another update from the Bennington State Bank scoreboard. 44 seconds left to go in the third. Riley County Silver Lake now knotted up at 21 all.
Oh, boy. Here, Southeast of Saline, scheduled to get the ball for the first time in the second half. 3:08 left to go here in the third. And an onside kick here by Haven. This ball's going to continue to travel all the way out of bounds, Southeast of Saline. Once it got through that first wave of Trojans, very heady play over there, letting that football trickle out of bounds and getting the flag and the penalty. Good field position here to start out the second half for Southeast of Saline on offense.
And it looks like now Gannon Jacobson coming in at quarterback, and I'll let you breeze through these wholesale changes once again on offense.
Thanks. First drive of the second half, they're going to put the football down at the 42-yard line for Southeast of Saline. As you said, Jacobson in there at quarterback. They're going to hand it off straight up the middle. Grady Gebhardt has some room into the second level, and Grady, with all his shake and bake, takes it across the 50 and ends up at the 46 on the other side. That is a gain of 12 on the play by Grady Gebhardt.
Yeah, and we saw Grady have kind of a big game for him against Lions, where he had well over 100 yards on only 6 or 9 carries and 3 touchdowns. So knowing he can run hard coming into the game.
From the 46, Gebhardt this time in a pistol behind Jacobson. He's going to take this carry now off the right-hand side, hit behind the line of scrimmage, but he's going to drag that Haven Wildcat forward and get back for a 1-yard gain. 13 yards on 2 carries here early on. Malachi Hopkins off to the left-hand side as a receiver.
Another update from the Bennington State Bank scoreboard in 2A. End of the third quarter, Ellsworth 14, Garden Plains 7.
1:15 to play here in the third. Second down and 10. Southeast of Saline, just outside of the Haven 45-yard line. Here's a high snap and a fumble that goes back into the backfield. Jacobson will retreat and fall on this football before letting a Wildcat get to it. It goes all the way back to the 44-yard line for Southeast of Saline. That will be a loss of 10 yards.
And the snap just a little high, throws the timing off as Kenyon Douglas coming in motion right there, either to take the fake handoff or the jet sweep right there, now bringing up 3rd and 20. Not ideal.
30 seconds left to go. This could be the last play of the third quarter for Southeast of Saline. A big 3rd and 20. Here's Douglas coming in motion. They're going to hand him the ball. Grady Gebhardt now a blocker. Douglas will follow him through and ran out of bounds at about the 48-yard line. That was a gain of 4 on the play.
I think Southeast will let this one run out now, under 10 seconds to go. That's exactly what they're going to do.
And that'll be the end of the third quarter. 53-6 is our score. Back with fourth and final quarter action. After this, you're listening and watching on SalinaPost.com to live stream video. It's brought to you by Aceria Oil and Hardware on KINA.
Working, cooking, folding, shopping, and wrapping. There's just so much to do for the holidays.
Mommy, don't stress. Call Merry Maids. Merry Maids can help. Merry Maids can clean our house top to bottom.
Hey, it's Sarah.
And Addison.
With Merry Maids in Salina and Abilene, the holidays can feel overwhelming. Let Merry Maids take cleaning your house off your holiday to-do list so you can spend more time with people who matter most.
Like me.
Find Merry Maids on Facebook or at merrymaids.com.
Merry Maids, relax. It's done. 1, 2, 3,
It's 3rd down and 8 for the Trojans. They really need to make the right call here.
During the football game, it's crucial to make the right call. And in real estate, one call can bring a positive outcome from your real estate experience. Whether you're looking for real property, upsizing to make room for the family, downsizing, or acquiring investment property, call Winnell Garrettson at SalinaHomes.com.
What a call! Touchdown, Trojans!
Buy or sell, call Winnell.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline football on KINA.
4th down and long coming up for Southeast of Saline. They will be in punt formation for just the 9th time this year. And here is a punt that is high, angling a little bit off to the right. Jace Van Amberg is going to watch it. Haven doesn't want to pick it up because Van Amberg and company are there. And this punt's going to roll all the way down inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. Well done there. I believe that was Evan Watkins in on the punt that time. And he will pin Haven back at their own 13-yard line.
Yeah, that was a phenomenal punt.
Really
Plenty of hang time, great spiral, great bounce, just everything right done right there.
So they're pretty much killed the whole third quarter. They get it here with 11-17 left to go in the fourth. There's a big, long ball down the field to an intended receiver. Tucker Thaxton in there on coverage, step for step. And Brant Sipe cannot hook up with his intended receiver right at the midfield stripe at the 50-yard line. Incomplete. Good coverage that time by Thaxton.
Yeah, he did a great job running step for step. As soon as the receiver turned his head, Tucker turned his head around, got that left arm just in there his time, right as the ball got there and broke it up. Great coverage.
2nd down and 10 after the incomplete pass. Haven at their own 13-yard line. 2 wide receivers to the right-hand side. They will go to Van Loop straight up the middle, and he will be taken down as he crosses the 15-yard line. He'll make it out to the 18-yard line on a gain of 5. That'll bring up 3rd down and 5.
And see if this second unit for Southeast can get a stop here on 3rd down to bring up 4th and long in their own territory.
From the 18, Wildcats with a 3rd down and 5. They fake it to Loop this time. Sipe will keep it, and he will be bottled up for just a 1-yard gain.
Yeah, and that was an excellent tackle by Caden Tappendick, it looked like, coming in right there. Just a great low tackle on the big quarterback to stop him for no gain.
He looks pretty good on that D-line, doesn't he?
Yeah, he comes off the ball quick over there on the outside.
4th down and 5. Make it 4 for Haven. They're going to go for it. Back in their own territory at the 19-yard line. Here's play action, pass, wide open receiver out on the edge. Haven will have the 1st down at the 25-yard line. Catch by Nash Ray of 6 yards.
Yeah, maybe a little miscommunication on there on the outside, but Tucker Thaxton with great makeup speed coming up as he tried to cut that back inside. Tucker right there to bring him down.
Haven out to the 26-yard line as they convert a 4th down. New set of downs here, 1st down and 10. Pistol formation. Van Loop directly behind. Quarterback Brant Sipe. Sipe looks like now he's changing the play. Watkins up there in the gap from his middle linebacker spot, showing blitz, and now movement by Southeast of Saline, I think will give Haven a 5-yard gift, and it will. Haven now will have their line of scrimmage shift from the 26 to the 31 and have a 1st down and 5.
Quickly moving here, now ticking about 8 minutes left to go in the game. We'll see if we can get some final scores here close to the end of this game when this one wraps up.
It's only 8:45. There's the shotgun, back to Sipe. He is under pressure. Brenton Heller goes flying by. Sipe gets away and then throws a football incomplete. Coverage on that play by Marcus Davis, but Brenton Heller nearly had a quarterback sack as he chased Sipe all the way back about 7 yards deep into the backfield, and that ball just a little too low hits the grass before it gets to its intended target.
Yeah, and Heller had a bead on him right there, maybe just overran him just a touch, but a great job to flush Sipe out of the pocket and came untouched from that left side.
2nd down and 5 after the incomplete pass. Back to the pistol. Van Loop will take the handoff. He'll try to angle it to the right-hand side, and he's going to be arrested by a bunch of Trojans for a 1-yard loss. Nice job there by the Trojans on the left-hand side of that purple defense.
Yeah, and a much better job on this drive by this defensive unit from the first drive that Haven had starting the second half, and doing a much, much better job at run containment.
3rd down and 5 now for the Haven Wildcats. Clock continues to roll, running clock, whole second half. Big lead here for Southeast of Saline. Here's a screen play out to Moore. Moore got around one Trojan tackler, and he is going to take it on the second effort all the way out to the 40-yard line. Good carry there, 9 yards on the pitch and catch from Sipe to Gavin Moore.
Yeah,
six catches, 79 yards for Moore tonight.
Yeah, and Tucker Thaxton read that one really well, just unable to shed that block, held it just long enough where he was unable to break down and make that tackle.
1st down and 10 at the 40 for the Wildcats. A lot of receivers on the short side of the field on the left. Sipe will go away from that and go to the right-hand side, and he will bounce a football at the feet of Nash Ray. So far here in the second half, Brant Sipe, 4 of 8 throwing the football.
Great coverage over there, double coverage by Jace Van Amberg and Marcus Davis on the far side of the field.
2nd down and 10 at the 40. Want to remind you, high school football scoreboard show coming up on KINA every Friday night. We'll have it tonight, of course, 10 until 11 o'clock. Your scores and game wraps and, of course, playoff updates, matchups for next week. here on KINA. It's brought to you by Home Automotive Centers in Abilene and Salina, and also Salina Surgical Hospital. Loop on the right hip of Brant Sipe this time. Sipe backpedaling will get rid of it just in time, and Van Loop now out in open field dancing around. He's going to knock off about 8 yards here. Nice play that time on the screen. Sipe to Loop.
Yeah, that was a great setup right there by Sipe, as they had 4 wide receivers on the near side of the field closest to us, all running streaks, and he stared them down the whole time till the last minute, dumped it off over there, and a great job.
He paid for it, too. He took a big hit. But he is a big guy, Brant Sipe, in their quarterback. 3rd down and 2. Goes back to Van Loop. He'll have a first down and then some and more. Into the secondary. 2 southeast of Saline players converging. It's Tucker Thaxton along with Malachi Hopkins, it looks like. And he is going to be brought down finally at the 26-yard line.
Yeah, and Van Loop's got a little breakaway speed there, is when he gets free. He can break out.
27 yards on that carry.
There's a pass from Sipe, a quick play over to Gavin Moore that is going to bring up a gain of about 9.5 yards. They're going quick once again.
Gavin Moore's 7th catch of the night for 88 yards. And now a timeout.
No, they're going to call a false start.
Yep, procedure. Haven got going a little too fast. 4:26 left to play. We are having a running clock. 53-6 is our score. It was 53-0 at halftime. Southeast of Saline did their heavy lifting early on here in this one. A pass thrown out to the left-hand side to Preston Sander. That is incomplete. 3rd down coming up for the Wildcats. 3rd down at about 6.
And Sipe's had a few of them where receivers are open on soft coverage and they've just dropped it, so not helping his average out right there. Preston Sander had about 8 yards of separation if he'd have just got a little ahead of himself there.
3rd down and 6. They'll go back to Van Loop. That's been really a good call here in this second half, and he will take it down to the 21-yard line on a gain of a couple. 4th down now.
See if Southeast can stop them short here, get a turnover on downs, and possibly maybe run this clock out.
Haven just outside of the red zone, but they need to get the first down first here. It's a 4th and 4. Sipe changing the play. 1 receiver and a wing back to the right-hand side. 2 receivers out wide to the left. Sipe wants to keep it, trying to knife his way through. He has the first down yardage. Now steps over a Southeast defender, and he's going to make it all the way down just inside of the 10-yard line at the 8. 13 yards on that 4th down conversion for Haven.
Another update, 13-6, Rose Hill over Abilene, 2:46 left to go in the 3rd.
1st and goal at the 8-yard line for Haven. Shotgun formation again. Sipe will keep it. Angles off to the right-hand side, gets hit hard over there, and then pinballs around, and he will take it inside of the 5 to about the 3. Gain of 5.
And you got to tackle low on a guy the size of Sipe. He's pinballing around. Everybody's tackling above the waist, and he's able just to bounce off of would-be tacklers. And now brings up 2nd and goal from about the 3 or 4 yard line.
2:18 left to go here in the 4th quarter. Ball on the 3-yard line. 2nd down and goal for Haven. Looking for back-to-back touchdowns here in this game. Sipe sniffing the goal line, and he is stood up at the 1 after a gain of 2. Nice little stand that time by the Southeast of Saline defense.
See if they could come up with 2 more stands, as you're probably going to get a lot of the same here. Sipe or Van Loop up the middle, and it looks like we're going to have an official's timeout trying to get the clock stopped. See what, I'm not sure what they're.
Lead official going up to Brant Sipe, maybe expecting or suspecting a hit there that might put him in jeopardy, and he's going to have him go out of the game.
Yeah, and the trainer was about halfway on the field to come see him. So not quite sure, maybe bounced around and took a few hits. Player safety and concussion's always big and concerned, so you don't, especially in a 53-6 game, you don't want to risk anything that could potentially lead to something more.
Nash Ray comes into the game. He is a starter wide receiver, but also can play the number 2 quarterback here. 3rd down and goal from the 1. Ray will be the quarterback. He'll have Van Loop with him in the pistol formation in the offensive backfield here for the Wildcats. 3rd and goal from the 1. Ray takes the snap, wants to pass it. Now he's going to have to get away from a couple of Trojans, and he is going to be tackled right at the goal line, but not in time as Ray gets across the goal line, running away from the Southeast of Saline defense for a 1-yard gain and a touchdown.
Yeah, that's kind of you bring in a fresh quarterback that hadn't been in the whole game, and you drop him back to pass on a 2nd and 1, 3rd and 1 right there. But a great job by Ray to scramble out, and knowing he only had to get 1 yard, took a hard hit, thrown to the ground, but just right after the goal line.
Haven lining up to go for 2. Shotgun back to Ray, wants to pass it, back corner of the end zone. It's a jump ball, and it is incomplete. And no good on the 2-point conversion. That might do it here. Clock down to 57 seconds. Depends on how long it takes to get everybody lined up. So we will keep it right here after that second score by Haven. They have outscored Southeast of Saline here in the second half 12-0, but it's still 53-12 Trojans, as we may not even get a kickoff here, Russ. It's down to 40 seconds now on the clock. So we may want to start talking about postgame, where we will have Mitch Gebhardt, head coach of the Trojans. We'll talk to him. We will also have scores on the Bennington State Bank scoreboard, and we will also have stats from this game, a victory for the Southeast of Saline Trojans. Biggest thing, we'll start looking ahead to next week. Who is on the schedule? Where will that be? I will tell you where it will be. It will definitely be here at Southeast of Saline's campus. Steve Fritz Field will be the location for another matchup for Southeast of Saline football. It will be a regional game, the state will call this game. Regional game. Southeast of Saline going out. They're going to line up, shake hands, and look across the field for the Haven Wildcats to come do the same as we have a final score. 53-0 at halftime. Southeast of Saline puts it in cruise control, and they get a victory 53-12 over the Haven Wildcats. Big nights for Nate Friesen, also Luke Gebhardt on offense, Michael Murray, Landon Allen in the passing game, and that Southeast defense was just spectacular in the first half of play as the Trojans get the victory 53-12. When we come back, Coach Gebhardt and postgame. It's brought to you by Commercial Tire Centers as the Trojans win it and move on to the round of 16. 53-12, Trojans over the Haven Wildcats here on KINA.